Hello, beauties. Yes, welcome to Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday. This is Robin Nielsen, and I'm so glad you're here. Just arrive for a moment. Get out of our heads and into our beautiful, gorgeous bodies. Just a few minutes make all the difference. All right, so welcome to Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday. Hello, I'm Robin Nielsen, and I'm honored that you've chosen to be here with me because I know there are a lot of ways you could be spending your time. My mission is to show women how to take charge of their health naturally so they can be in a place of wellness, happiness, peace, and love more of the time. So this spreads to their families, their communities, and to the world, and so that you can step into the powerful, beautiful woman you are put here on this earth to be. I'm here to help you take back control of your health. Your healing starts here, and just by showing up today, your genes, your genetics are already starting to express themselves for the better. You're already healing. Isn't that amazing? So let's feel more confident, vibrant, and sexy together. Welcome to today's program with my beautiful guest, Chelsea Allen. So great to have her here. So she is actually joining in just a few minutes, but I'd like to, while we're waiting for her, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Bring or Help a Girlfriend contest. This is the way that we help our friends. This is the way that we thrive when we invite those around us who need support too. So let me tell you a little bit about the Bring a Friend or Help a Girlfriend contest. We used to call it the Bring a Friend contest. And then we thought, oh my gosh, it'd be so nice to actually call it the Help a Girlfriend, because that's exactly what we're doing, is helping a girlfriend. So let me just see here. If I have the link to share with you. I think that Lizette will share with you the Help a Girlfriend contest link. We go so much farther when we go together, and it's a really powerful program and event. And for those of you who have done it before, post right here if you've done Robin's Hormone Reset before. You know how powerful it is. It's really a jumping off point for the rest of your life. It's that incredible. It's where you kind of find your ground. You get grounded around what needs to happen. Life stops being so chaotic. It's a really beautiful, beautiful time in your life where you can just sort of rethink the trajectory of your life. I know that sounds so huge, just to, heal, right? To feel so much better, but that's really what you're doing. And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about changing your dream to change your health. That's exactly what we do in this reset, plus so much more. So it's a program around foundational skills, foundational lifestyle choices that are really like all about your body's physiology. They're not my rules. They are hormone balancing rules that a woman's body has that you really need to abide by if you want to feel well. And so it's a great program to figure out what they are, to see if you're on track or not, to adjust things slightly, because small changes over time equal big results. We don't have to do really big things. We just have to make small changes over time, because that equals really big results. I just did an interview for a longevity summit this morning, and we were talking about this very topic on how we don't have to be perfect. We just have to know the rules so that we can follow them more and more and more of the time. And that's what you'll learn in Robin's Hormone Reset. And we made it affordable for every single woman. And even if you think right? Even if you think you're going to be so surprised at what you learn. learn. So surprised. And you'll be able to implement things right away. So we have the Help a Girlfriend contest. We're going to post the link right here for you. The prizes are pretty incredible. So for the woman who brings the most girlfriends, right, who invites the most girlfriends, you definitely want to invite your girlfriends using your special link. So click on our link here, go to our Help a Girlfriend page and get your special link. You'll put your email address in, and then you click Get Link, and then you'll have your special link. And that's how we keep track of who invited who. We already have one gal who's invited 3 girlfriends so far. So you have to at least have more than 3 girlfriends to win, prize number 1. And that is, prize number 1 is we're gifting the woman who brings the most girlfriends the Natural Hormone Solution Plus program for 3 months. It's really incredible. So you'll get 3 months worth of supplements, of nutrients, plus you'll get to be part of our incredible community and program in the Natural Hormone Solution program. That's a value of $547. And then you'll get the beautiful Emerson Apothecary All the Kids Skincare Kit, which is our favorite. And they are actually a sponsor of Robin's Hormone Reset. And that's a $60 value. And then you'll get one of our hormone balancing protein powders, either the vegan vanilla or the power paleo. So it's a total price package worth $689. And that's for the woman who brings the most girlfriends to Robin's Hormone Reset, where we can all thrive together. And prize number 2, so this is for the second place woman who brings the second most girlfriends. We're gifting her the Natural Hormone Solution Basic Program for 3 months. And the reset price on that is $397. Normally, I think it's $547. So it's a really great deal. Plus the Emerson Apothecary All the Kids Skincare Kit worth $60. And then one of our hormone balancing protein powders worth up to $81.25. So that's a prize package of $538 for the woman who comes in second. And for the woman who comes in third, inviting her girlfriends, you will get the Natural Hormone Solution Basic Program, plus the Emerson Apothecary All the Kids Skincare. And that's worth $457 just during the reset. After the reset, it's worth way more than that. So you can add a couple $100 onto that. So we're so excited to support the ladies when they bring their friends, because that's how we can all rise together. We just go so much farther when we do this together. Yeah. And that's one thing I was talking about earlier today too, is that you want to surround yourself with people who are going where you want to go. So you're all supporting each other in the same direction. And also there are people in your community who are where you want to go to, so that you can hold on to their belief that it's possible, but also you can get their support. You can learn how they did it. You can hear from them, because that's how we learn, is by hearing from others. So many of you have heard my story. I also share my story the week before the reset begins in Robin's Hormone Reset in our beautiful Facebook group community. So I'll share my entire story there, so you can sort of hear, a lot of the things that I was dealing with, and what it kind of took to resolve them. And then each day of the reset, we'll be doing a hormone assessment on a different hormone. So we cover 6 different hormones in the reset: estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, insulin, and the thyroid hormone. So that's 6 different hormones. And you'll learn about all the symptoms for each hormone. It's just crazy, some of the symptoms, like it's unbelievable. And you'll say, oh, no wonder I feel like I feel, right? Because I'm low in this hormone, or high in this hormone, or I'm deficient, right, in this hormone. And then I'm going to teach you during the reset how to rebuild those hormones. And it's pretty awesome that we can do it. Someone posted on one of our Facebook posts today. She said, well, you can't reset them if you don't have them. And she said, you have to take hormone replacement therapy. And that's not true. So if you don't have any, and what we think of is we think of sex hormones, right? If we don't have any sex hormones, it's quite common postmenopausal, but we will actually learn how we can make them. Our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are like our little miracle machines. And so I'm going to teach you how to support your body to make the hormones you need to feel well in a balanced way. Isn't that amazing? So we don't need exogenous or hormones from the outside if we don't have any of our own. All right, so I want to talk about Chelsea for just a little bit here. For some reason, she may have gotten confused about the day and time, but I have her whole story here. So we'll just kind of dig in, and if she can join in, that'll just be a huge bonus. She's an incredible woman. I want to show you a picture. Let me just pull that up for you. This is something that she posted a while ago, and it really kind of tells a story. So I thought I would kind of post that first. Let me just see if I can do that. Technology is amazing, isn't it? So here's kind of a little timeline for Chelsea. On the left is, I think, when she started the reset or before she started the reset. And then the middle is kind of on her way. And then on the right is farther down the path. And it really happened for her in a pretty short period of time. You might be able to expect this if you're under the age of 40 or even under the age of 35. You can expect changes more quickly. If you're, older than that, if you're mid 40s, late 40s, postmenopausal, for example, it might take a little bit longer. But she, noticed a lot of these changes over 6 to 8 months. Really incredible. Just with basic foundational practices. Isn't that amazing? So great. All right, so let me share her story with you. So she found the reset, and she was at a really desperate time in her life. Things were not going well for her. It was really chaotic, and she just didn't feel well. She felt awful. She was 60 pounds overweight, or sorry, 65 pounds overweight. She had really an inability to lose weight. So she was 3 years after her last child, and she just really was having a hard time losing any weight at all. She felt depressed. She had anxiety, feelings of rage and anger. So her moods were really all over the place. And maybe you can relate to that. What can you relate to so far? So weight gain, moods, any mood imbalances, depression, anxiety, feelings of rage and anger. And also, I really love to just have you say hello and where you're joining in from. So let's just breathe for a minute and do that. Be wonderful. Where in the world are you joining in from? And this group is really incredible. We have over 15,000 ladies in this group. Let's really, bond together and support each other. It's a powerful group. Yeah, so powerful. All right, so I'm just getting started. Chelsea was really experiencing a lot of sugar cravings, stress eating, emotional eating. She had acne during menstruation, heavy and painful menstruation, daily excessive hair loss, and how debilitating that is. For women, hair loss is so discouraging, so debilitating. It kind of takes us out. Thin, dry, stringy hair that tangled easily, abdominal bloating. She said she looked 6 months pregnant. She was exhausted. So fatigue, exhaustion, hirsutism. So not only was she losing hair, but she also was growing that dark, coarse, male pattern hair. So it's called terminal hair growth. And, on your cheeks, chin, sometimes nipples, stomach, abdomen area, sometimes back. So that's, for women, that's terrible. Brain fog, did terrible brain fog. Skin tags. So skin tags, if you have them, you know what they are. They're those They're those kind of velvety skin patches, are dark skin patches that that pop up when we're really out of balance, especially when we have insulin resistance. So she had skin tags, really low energy. So we talked about fatigue and exhaustion already. No motivation, and she says virtually no self-care. So she just really was busy taking care of her children, just getting by day to day. Can you relate to that at all? Oh, wow. I swear that was me too. I was just getting by. I was running as fast as I could, and I had terrible brain fog and exhaustion, and yeah, really tough. So what of those things can you relate to? So 65 pounds overweight, depression, anxiety, rage, anger, sugar cravings, acne during menstruation, heavy and painful menstruation, daily excessive hair loss, thin, dry, stringy hair that tangles easily, the hirsutism, abdominal bloating where she looks 6 months pregnant, hirsutism, I think I already said that, brain fog, skin tags, low energy, no motivation. Yeah, like how many of those can you relate to? That's a lot, right? That's a lot of stuff. All right, so she said that she had reached her rock bottom. She tried everything that she could think of to try to get herself out of the deep, dark hole that she was in, but nothing was working. And that, that's so true. I know that so many times we try so many things and nothing works. And so, this is one of those programs where, I say, you have to show up and take action. You have to show up and take action if you want to heal. Let's see. Oh yeah, Chelsea wants to join me. All right, poor Chelsea's waiting on another link. It's my fault. Yeah, I'm sure it is. So you know what? Let me do this because some of you, gosh, I'm so sorry. Some of you may be wanting to join on Zoom directly. So okay, so we'll share this Zoom link in case you want to hop on Zoom with me. Oh my gosh, sincere apologies for those who are on Zoom. I completely forgot we have a special Zoom link. Deep breath, it's all good. That's how we roll here. We just forgive ourselves immediately. Immediate forgiveness. Oh, that feels so good. All right, so I'm going to let Chelsea come on and kind of finish telling you about her rock bottom place, because I know that so many of us can relate to that. So we'll just wait for her to join in here. And while we're waiting for Chelsea to join us, I would love for you to share a question that you have, maybe about the reset or about maybe a symptom that you're experiencing that I would love to, I'd love to answer for you. So I read every single comment on these Hormone Breakthrough Wednesdays. So if you could post a symptom that you're experiencing that you would like support around, or just a question that you have about the reset, or a direction that you want to go in. I know that I see a lot of posts in here, and we're always looking for products. We're always looking for products to buy that will be that quick fix. But I'm here to tell you that there are no products that are a quick fix. You might have short-term gain from those products, but you will not have long-term change. You might have short-term gain, but you will not have long-term change. Yeah, so that's a great way to think about it, right? Because I see that we're always looking for products in here. So that's definitely a challenge. So Chelsea is joining us. Chelsea. So we did some forgiving here. So I forgave myself for being on the wrong link. We're talking about you. Thank you so much for hopping over here and being so flexible.
Oh, absolutely. I was watching you on the live stream and I'm like, I'm here. I just can't say anything.
You're like, where are you, Robin? How do I find you? Oh my gosh. Well,
Mhm.
Chelsea is so generous with her time. She's come on a few times to share her journey because I think you're just so passionate about helping women, figure this out.
Absolutely, yeah. So this, like you were saying, this is really the jumping off point. It really was like the turning point for many things in my life. All the things that you said, the weight, I would try, multiple things, and I would just keep gaining weight, and it was like, this isn't supposed to be happening, and so yeah, my hair, the acne, the postpartum depression, severe anxiety. It was a complete mess. I completely lost myself. I felt like, I would hide from people at the grocery store if I would see people out that I knew. I would just like, don't want to see anybody, because I was just ashamed to be in my body. And then I found this reset on a Facebook ad, and I was just like, what else? I don't have anything to lose, what, you know. And so I was in a very toxic, abusive relationship for like a decade. And this really, really started my healing from the inside out, like my body, just from the inside out, and it expanded into other areas of my life. And, I eventually left that abusive relationship, and I have the self-confidence and just so much healing. And I'm just forever grateful for this program. So happy to
And
be here.
that is so great. And will you share
Yeah.
where you're joining in from?
I'm from a small town in Illinois. It's about an hour south of Springfield, which is the capital. So
Oh, that's so great. And that's something that I don't talk about much is really it and I don't talk about it because it's too far out for some of us, but
Mhm.
it is life changing. I know that ladies who have worked with me privately, they change careers, right? They leave jobs, they fix their relationships or find relationships that support them better. Like it is life changing because you
Mhm.
actually have the energy and the confidence and the motivation that you want more for yourself and you want to feel good all the time and you don't want things to take you out, right? Like you
Right.
start to identify what things are taking you out and then you
Mhm.
fix them. And it's every cell of your body. Like every cell of your body says, this does not work for me. But you can't feel that until you heal, right? And then as you heal, you're like, oh no, like I can't do that anymore, or that doesn't serve me, or I'm not going backwards. And did
Right.
that something like that happen for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's been, what's it been? It was 2 years in May from the first reset that I did, I think. And just my life is completely different now. And I did recently have a career change, which is interesting you said that. So yeah, everything that doesn't serve me has been falling away, and my life is just continuously getting better.
That's
Thank
so
you.
amazing. Yeah, I don't talk about that because it's just too far. It's just like, what do you mean my life is going to change? It's like I feel like crap. I can't
Yeah.
even think about my life right now.
Oh
So we
man.
just talk about health, but once your
Mhm.
health is so much better, then life just like expands incredibly. It's so
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, you
Yeah.
get paid more money for things you expect, like you just love life and just that sense of sufficiency,
Mhm.
I'm enough. I have enough. Life is enough. Like just incredible. Just expand. So
Yeah.
so we've been living in your pain for a little bit here. We talked a
Mhm.
lot about some of the symptoms that you had, and you saw a Facebook ad. You
Mhm.
totally took a leap of faith. You didn't know me. You didn't know the program. It was the very first time we had run it. You were really like taking a leap of faith.
Mhm.
And so, yeah. So what made you say yes? You said that you had nothing to lose, but you had tried a lot of things.
Yeah. I just was like, everything that I've tried has not worked. And then so I read through, your post, and I thought, well, maybe I have hormone issue. I had no clue, but prior to learning all the things that you teach, but I, was like, well, I'm pretty well, like I can't go anywhere but up. I'm down here and I just have nowhere to go but up. And so I thought, why not? And so yeah,
Oh,
it
that's so
just,
great. So great.
yeah.
Okay, so you have to share. So you did the very first reset, and And you are such a wonderful example of showing up and taking action. Nothing happens if we don't show up.
Right.
Nothing happens, right? Nothing changes. And I think that that's, one of the things that we have to really change in our lives is if we want to see change. I think that the expression goes, without change, there is no change.
Right. Yeah. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right. Nothing changes, nothing changes. Yeah, we can make all sorts of variations on that.
Yeah.
And so you have to show up and you have to take action. But I really like the expression, the right information plus the right action equals the right results. And you did it. So tell us some of the things. I've got my notes here if you need help, because you have to remember all of this. But yeah, I'm gonna let you give it a go.
So I actually started late in the first reset that I did. So I wasn't really participating like in the comments and everything, but I would watch your lives while I was working and would listen to them. And so I started implementing a few steps at a time. And it was amazing because like I told you, my scale kept going up and I was so frustrated with that. Well, very quickly the scale kept going down and I was like, this lady's got, maybe this lady's onto something. And so I thought, so then I would add in another step. And so it just was like, wow. And so, like you said, it did happen pretty quickly with my weight loss. Well, I'm sure most of it was all my bloating, and I just started feeling so much better so quickly. And I thought, wow, this is really amazing. And so then I stuck with it for the last 2.5 years, and it really is just tools for life. Like you provide so much information that I think that every woman needs to know. It's just not something that's commonly taught, and just tools for a lifestyle. And it's just so easy to, if you fall off the wagon for a meal or something like that, to just get back in and keep going. You know what I mean? And so I just haven't looked back, and it's really a lifestyle change, and but it's easy, it's pretty easy to maintain. I feel like all the steps that you give are pretty incredible, and so
Yeah,
here I am.
and they're doable. I mean, we're here in the Natural Solutions for Hormone Balance group, right? We're looking for natural ways to heal. And what we don't know is that pretty much all of the natural ways are really just lifestyle changes, just adjusting things to support our physiology better. And a lot of times what I found is that we are doing things that may work for men, but they don't work so well for women. And we don't know that until you do the reset.
Right.
And then that's something that we talk about. It's like, yeah, well, that works for men, doesn't work for women, right? Like we need to know these things. So we want a list of all the things. So you said, pretty quickly, started noticing on your scale, you started losing the bloating. So one thing that, we women like to say is that, I've lost a few pounds, but it's just water weight, right? Like we kind of just dismiss that nice change as not really lasting.
Right.
And here's the thing, when you lose water weight, you're actually reducing inflammation. That is a huge win.
Yeah.
The problem is that we're usually dieting. And so when we go back to living our life the way we normally do, right, the inflammation comes back. So that's why we think it's just this transient thing, because that's what we've learned over years and years and years of practice by dieting all the time, which was me. Right? It's like, oh yeah, I lost some weight, yay. And then I go back to, doing the same old thing and comes right back. So, so I just wanted to mention that. So you noticed pretty quick weight loss, decreased bloating, more energy, less anxiety.
My hair stopped falling out. Now it's long and doing good. But I mean, I would shower and it would just come out. I mean, I was like, how much hair do I have to lose every single day? It was horrible to see, so that stopped my anxiety. I had severe anxiety, like you said, postpartum depression, and my anxiety has decreased significantly, and the postpartum depression is gone. My periods are they're very regular and not really painful at all. I can pinpoint when I'm going to start, exactly to a T, and they're just so much better. I'm not having like severe, what do you call it for your period?
PMS.
PMS, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would be horrible, I'm like, oh, I know you're starting your period because you're terrible.
Yeah.
So that is just so much. I mean, I started birth control when I was probably 14 because the doctor told my mom, because she had endometriosis, the doctor said, oh, well, you better get her on that because that'll prevent her from having that too. And so I was on it for 10, 15 years. And so I was just a mess. And so, but yeah, so my cycles are completely regulated, and I do really well with it. So.
And it's so great that you mentioned that. I mean, that's something that we learn about in the reset as well as, birth control, because that's a really big deal. Yes. And what we don't know, a lot of us don't know, is that our menstrual cycle is really considered the 5th vital sign. So right along with pulse and blood pressure and all those other things. And it's that important, right? The regularity of our menstrual cycle and the health of our menstrual cycle is so important. It's a kind of a symptom. If it's out of balance, it's a symptom that something is not right. Right. So we need to take note of that, right? Heavy or missing periods are not right. Fluctuating schedules are not right. You want to take that information and do something about it. We need, I don't know, we just, as women, we've learned to be okay or to accept painful periods and, incredible mood swings. And, we're so busy taking care of others that we don't realize that these are really things that our body is telling us are not right and that we need to fix them. So really important. And we have many women in here just recently, like over the last couple of weeks, maybe you could go comment on a couple of the posts where they're freaking out about their hair. They're freaking out about their hair. So maybe you could encourage them to join the reset. Because there's no quick fix. We're looking for a bottle or of something, to get us out of the panic that we're in. And I totally get it, because it's something to panic over for sure if you're going to panic, but you have to heal from the inside out, because we don't need hair to survive.
Right.
And hair takes a lot of energy to grow. So if you're losing your hair, there's something going on metabolically that has to be fixed, and that's not going to come in a bottle. Right. You have to fix those underlying root causes. All right. So you grew your hair back. It's gorgeous, beautiful hair. You were releasing weight. Your moods were getting way more balanced. Your period was more regular and not as painful anymore. Your skin, tell us about your skin and your sleep.
Yeah, my skin cleared up. I used to get pretty bad, like cystic hormonal, like each month, just these like big, and they're painful too. And I'm thinking back now, like when I was even a teenager, I mean, you're talking about healing from the inside out, I had horrible acne everywhere, and you try all the harsh chemicals, and you're just like burning your skin, and nobody, tells you that that's from like a hormonal imbalance. They're just like, oh, put all these creams and all that stuff, and it doesn't fix it. So yeah, my skin has cleared up, and I sleep so much better. Oh my gosh, I sleep like a baby. And so I just, all of the areas that I had issues with have dramatically improved due to
so amazing. So amazing.
Yeah.
And you've released over 45 pounds.
Yeah, it's over 50. I'm thinking about 60 by now. Yeah. And I've maintained it over the last 2 years.
Yeah. So. And I think that that's a really important thing to to note is that,
Mhm.
I think that you've been able to maintain it without a problem.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It just,
Have you dieted over these last 2 years?
oh no, I followed all of the all the steps that I've learned.
That was a trick
Um,
question,
yeah,
just testing you.
no diets for me. No, no, I follow the steps, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't ever have a special occasion, but I don't
Of
ever have like
course.
2 bad meals in a row, or I try not to do, you know, too many things in a row. Just if I want a special occasion, I enjoy it, and then I get right back on the wagon. And so it's not difficult for me to do. It's just become part of my life, and I each day follow the steps, and it works. It just works, and I just am so thankful that I found you, because I don't know where I'd be. I don't even know where I'd be if I didn't. You know what I mean? Because it was just nothing was working. So
I don't think that that you had a choice. I think
no, I
that
didn't.
the universe just said, this is your next step, and you said yes, and here you are. So it's
Yeah.
so magical. So what would you say to a woman who is thinking about doing the reset?
I would say that you should just choose yourself. You won't regret it. You will learn tools that you will have in your toolkit for the rest of your life. And I think, to me, that's priceless. Every woman on the planet should know these things. And I just will never stop telling everybody that I know about this program, because it's just, I think it's priceless. And I think that it just has changed my life, and it will change your life too. And you deserve it. And you can't pour from an empty cup, is what I've learned. Like, I was 2 kids, a single mom in it, and it was just, so depleted. And now, fill your own cup first. That way you can fill everybody else's, even more. And so I just choose yourself. And
Yeah,
so
I
it's been
love
so much healing. It's
choose
been
yourself.
healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful. We're really grateful for you for bearing your soul and sharing your story, and I know so many of us can relate to your story. You had a lot of things going on. So some of us just
Mhm.
have a couple things. You had a lot of things going on,
Yeah.
and it's really incredible that you did this at such a young age, and so you have just all of these years of feeling fabulous, and not focusing on what's wrong, because that's what we do when we don't feel well, but
Right.
you're able to focus on what you want for yourself, on your beautiful life, on your kids, right? um,
Mhm.
and that's a huge distinction. We don't feel well, we're really focused on our misery every single day.
All right. Yeah.
Once we start to feel better, we can focus out here, right? We can focus on life. We can
Right.
focus on our beautiful selves, our families, why we were put here in the first place. So thank you
Right.
so much. Let's give Chelsea lots and lots and lots of love. Isn't she a beautiful soul? Such a beautiful soul. And
Thank
thank
you
you
so
again
much.
so much for making time for us. We're really grateful.
Absolutely. Anytime. Happy to be here, and I'm excited for the next upcoming reset.
Yes,
Every time,
awesome.
every
And
time.
will you be a cheerleader again?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, not to put
Yep.
you on the spot or anything, but yeah,
Yeah, I already talked with Lisette, so yeah, I'll be there.
thank you
And every
so
time, every
much.
reset, you learn something new. I feel like there's always nuggets that it's just always great to have a refresher, and to see all the ladies and you, of course, and it's just
Yeah.
always a good time. So
Yeah, it's a
looking forward
great
to
way to just stay on it. And here's the really
it.
great thing about the reset that I always forget to share. But once you're in, you're in,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
once you're in the reset, you just get to participate anytime. So it's really beautiful, because we need it. We need to continue to support each other so that we stay on our beautiful path.
And it is such an amazing group of supportive women, and it's just, and you need that, because if you're doing something by yourself, you're like, oh, this is just me, and you have no one really to hold you accountable, or you
Right.
know it's hard to do. And
Or
so when you have a
support you.
community of women, yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a loving and supportive environment. I really love it.
Yeah, and we're cranky when we first join the group. Let's
Oh
just
yeah.
face it, right? We're
Yeah.
cranky, we're irritable, a little ornery, we might say, and you really need the support to stay on track, to, I don't know, we try to keep you from complaining, but sometimes
Mhm.
it happens, and we can,
Yeah.
bring you up and slap
Yeah.
you around a little bit and say, you're okay. We can do this, like snap out of it. And it's
Good.
wonderful. It's really
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
It
So if you
is.
have a question for Chelsea, you can post it here, and you'll be able to answer if somebody wants to
For
ask you
sure.
specifically a
Yeah,
question.
for sure.
All right, great.
Yeah, I'll be.
All right. Well, kisses for you, Chelsea. Mwah!
Ah,
And kisses for
thank
all
you.
of you watching and listening. And we're so excited to support you in the upcoming reset. And Lizette will post the link here for you. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.